see the real you, even if you don't. I do, I do. I will never give up on you. I see the real you, even. Alright, okay, we're muted. Let me pop this out. Let's get some of that going on. Thoughts on Femboys? Overall positive. You missed it by like a quarter second. What's up, G2? How you doing? And what's up, Voodoo Child? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? How's your knife? But the way this is looking on my screen, I feel like it's might be a choppy stream tonight. I really hope not, though. Shit. 1080p. Maybe let me try a little refresh. Let's see if that works. It might just be the way my stream's coming through. It's whatever. Got the noti this time. Indeed you did. What's up, Jamie? How you doing today? Yeah, we're just getting started. What's up, Rip? What's up, Rip? How y'all doing? How's your day? How are y'all? I'm still flabbergasted at the idea that people are even here, you know? I don't know. Just never makes sense to me. I don't know. Streamlabs, you can chill the fuck out for a quick minute. I have had just the most tumultuous day ever. I don't know if it's anybody's had a day more tumultuous than mine. Yep, I'm claiming to have had a more tumultuous day than everybody who's went through awful shit throughout history. Yes, I am. Yeah, I've started packing today, which kind of fucks up having to get my computer fixed. I can't really squeeze the time in for that. I don't know. Yeah. Been ripping and running all day. I actually used up all the gas I had in my tank today. You know, that hasn't happened in like years. You know, I've been doing a lot of driving, a lot of whatever the fuck. So it's been a chaotic day. How's everybody else's day going? No, they did. Oh, no. Why? I was rooting for them. Ah, fuck, dude. Nah, fuck, dude. Well, that just made my day worse, huh? Is everybody just getting single before the summer? What the fuck's going on here? I don't know. But anyway, what's up, Jamie? You fellow buckaroonies. What's up, my fellow buckaroo? How you doing, Gecko? Day was amazing. Lighting up and have some lemonade right now. Ooh, I love lighting up and I love lemonade. Together, I can't remember the last time I had them together, but hell yeah. Did you see the Discord today spreading more misinformation and promoting an ethno state? I did not. No, I got pinged in the rant channel. I didn't see what I got pinged for though. I'll assume that's what it was. Yeah, dude's not gonna make it very long. Some people just gotta go. Some people just gotta go. Some people gotta go. So I'll see what he said in there and see where to go from there. When did it get to be so late? I fucking guess you just sit and listen to the smooth tones of this guy named Jungkook. My name's not Jungkook. I'm not Korean. Also, what's up, High Inquisitor? How's your day going? Yeah, what's up, Juan? Also, what's up? How you doing today? Don't say it. Don't say it. Brittany. Yeah, I remember your name. You're trying to quit cigs and vapes. Hold me to it. I will hold you to it. Don't you vape. Don't you fucking vape. All right. Put the lighter down. Put the cigs down. Okay. Put them down. Throw them away or something. I don't know. I don't like wasting things. So maybe get whatever you got done. get the cancer you got available to you. Just take it in and then like throw the rest of it away after the fact. Recycle it or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'll hold you to it. He got a bike, I guess. Wait, Aaron? How to get in a? Why do we break up with Cadence over getting a bike? Am I just understanding things incorrectly? Use of profanity? My bad, dude. What's up, John? I'm not saying that, G2. What the fuck? You got single before the summer? Everybody's just single before the summer, dude. What was happening in the Discord? I have no clue, dude. I should really keep up with the Discord a little bit more. I can't tell people, oh, join the community, but I'm not there all that often, you know. Me and fine shit locking in this summer. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Happy definitely has to go. JC is a cutie, so he's fine. Aww. Currently smoking CBD cigs. I'm not a huge fan of just like CBD only stuff. It does nothing for me. Or maybe it's just like I don't notice what it does for me, but it doesn't really help with any mental stuff. So I don't know. Just all the things I take in that taste like, that have CBD only in them just taste like grass. Like not like grass, but you know, like the type that you clip in the lawn with a pair of scissors, that stuff. It's your last pack for sure. I keep saying it about my last pack too, and then like I'll finish the week or so, like maybe a week, 8 days for me to finish the pack. I'll finish the pack, and then I'll sit there like, man, I feel like shit after that last cigarette. And then sure enough, just a few hours later, I'll sit there. But what I've started doing is like, I wouldn't say punishing myself for it, but if I'm going to smoke, I'm going to make it as inconvenient as possible to get them. So like the 7-Eleven's not that far. It's only like a quarter mile away, but you know, I walk to it instead of just being an extra lazy smoking piece of shit and getting in my car, right? How was your day, Father? I did not have a very good day. It was just busy. I had a very busy day. How was your day, Josie? How's your day, Joshi? If God's not real, then who shepherds the souls into reincarnation? No one. No one. I don't believe in souls. I don't believe souls exist personally, or reincarnation by extension. So, my answer is nobody. Mrs. Gecko is gone. She's no longer existent. Did you eat Mrs. Gecko? In the bad way, not in the good way. Not in the good way. You just like the drag. Fair is fair. Yeah, I'm past the point of liking the drag. I need to feel something. You know, I need to feel alive. God damn it, you feel me? I need a little head rush of oxygen deprivation. If God's not real, who does this mythological stuff? Basically, yeah. If there's no God, then who caused the donkey to talk in Numbers 22? Motherfucker, the donkey didn't talk, right? What's up, Alentot? Alentot? I don't know. How you doing today? Who's gonna have a hot girl summer in here? I'm not. I'm gonna have a piece of shit summer. It's I'll be honest. I'm about to have a really stressful, really long summer. There's gonna be a lot of because I gotta move and be somewhere by next month. You know, let's take a little bit to get settled into everything. Probably gonna have to take a week or so off of streams or whatever. It's not looking too good. It's not looking too good. If God is real, then why do my balls itch? Fair enough. I hate itchy nuts, dude. And then you gotta just really get at them, and then the skin's so loose, so it's not like you can like really pull at it the right way to scratch them properly. And then so you just kind of gotta like pull them a weird kind of way before you actually get at it. I'm talking way too much about scratching a scrotum. I'm so sorry. If God is real, where are my balls? I thought you had balls. You ate Mrs. Gecko. Got you. Live streaming Christians on YouTube have a way to justify everything terrible and nonsensical in the Bible. Oh my God, I need debate powers. Read the Bible. I mean that in the most unironic way possible. Part of the reason why I'm able to at least able to have like a kind of literate discussion about the Bible is because I read it twice. So, you know, don't let them lie to you about it. Get a good translation. Read it. If not the whole thing, then the important parts. And, you know, read the immediate context and you'll just go from there. Yeah. But I promise you, Christians have an awful habit of like lying their nuts off about the bad shit in the Bible. So, yeah, hold them to it. What about saints and miracles? Are they all fake too? Yes and yes. I wouldn't say like the people who are claimed to be saints are necessarily not real, but I just don't have a reason to believe they were like divinely chosen or anything like that, right? Miracles, same. If it's like a supernatural claim, like odds are there's probably not really good evidence for it. Does the bingo card still work? I think it does. I just don't have it pulled up right now. What made you stop believing in God? So for me, I stopped believing in God because I read the Bible. The Bible, I'm gonna redo the video probably immediately after I finish the streams, and then like record it and put it on my, just to update it and everything, but add some more details. But I read the Bible, thought about God differently after finishing the Bible. I looked into apologetics. The apologetics made me think about God differently, and then I looked into the arguments for God, the archaeological evidences, the historical evidence, and all of it came back false. And obviously, God didn't answer any of my prayers either. So, I was praying for, hey, help me out with the faith here, give me a sign or something, so I know so I can give my life to you. Came up null. So, got no choice but to admit I was following something false at that point. You ever just have a fart that stays between your cheeks? No, I'm too loosened out for that. I would say you still require faith to believe an explosion created a price of slime that turned into a human. That's faith. Brandweiser, I'm so sorry. Maybe other atheists are like more green when it comes to talking to disingenuous people, so they bite the bait. But the discussion I'm trying to have isn't about whether or not you are understanding science correctly, or whether or not it takes some sort of religious faith for me to accept science and for what it says. It's just not something I debate on here. I don't do like the little let me just drop a grenade and then expect to get this guy's attention and not actually talk about the discussion in a meaningful way. So I'm so sorry, but you got the wrong guy. Atheism is a religion. Now become Christian. Debate. Exactly. I don't know what to tell you at that point. Telling you, read Philip Mainlander just published in English for the first time last year. What did Philip Mainlander do that was so special? How many times does this have to be explained to you idiots when one has evidence is considerably more likely than contradictory mythology? Yeah, but as much as I really, really, really want to bite the bait, like if you're coming in just to start off being disingenuous, odds are we're not gonna get very far. So I don't even go that far with them. What's up, Scraggly Muffin? Good to see you. If God was Jesus, would you accept or reject them? Probably reject them. Jesus himself was kind of imperfect too. And the God of the Bible, if you read it front to back twice like I did, he's a pretty big piece of shit if you really, really choose to be morally consistent about it. If you run around believing every book, you're gonna get real weird when you finish the fiction section. Yeah, yeah. Until people can figure out which book they want me to believe in, like come to one conclusion about one book, I'll start taking them seriously after that. Until then, persistent dishonesty is just not gonna help them. What's your favorite game? I know, very important. GTA 5 is my favorite game. Yeah. How do you think the world was created? I think that the Earth formed via accretion. So, like protoplanetary disks from particles coming off of nebulae and stars and forming via gravity over the course of millions and billions of years. That's how planets tend to form. I'm being genuine. Scientism is faith. You calling it scientism gave yourself away. I'm so sorry, dude. Again, I'm just not the guy for that. If you want to be more neutral with me, I'm all ears. But if you want to continue just like with this weird, you also have faith, like the people that have faith in the book with talking animals, then I don't know what to I can't help you. First Timothy 2:11-12. Oh yeah, Paul's misogyny for sure. Yeah, I didn't even need to read that to know about it. What's an atheist philosopher? He acted out his philosophy. What do you mean acted out his philosophy? Did he kill himself? Your mom's birthday is this Friday. Oh, happy birthday to your mom. How old is she turning? She single? She's single. She need a new stepdad or something. Do I think Jesus is the God of the Bible? It's kind of weird. Like the Bible affirms Trinity in some ways. It disagrees with it in a couple other ways. I'll just go with Jesus being God, being fully divine, being one part of God, or whatever the hell like most Trinitarians believe in, and what I've grown up believing in. Meaning he should be in his essence synonymous with God, because Jesus himself claims that he doesn't change. He's the same now, presently, and forever. And also God, the Father, says he doesn't change in the Old Testament as well. So both, right? Superman comic accurate versus Omni-Man who wins? Superman, and it's not even remotely close. Let's see if morality argument. Oh boy, yeah. You know what? I'm just kind of done with them. If anybody else want to hop on the morality argument, go for it. But I'm exhausted with it. We got people saying saying like want to address like subjective morality or just like secular objective morality or moral realism while believing in a book with infanticide and rape in it. Like, just miss me with it at that point. Let's see, don't mock God and then act like you're all sensitive and can't take it. It's not sensitivity. It's me doing this for 10 years of my life, right? Maybe not the streaming stuff, but talking to Christians on forums and servers and things like that. Getting familiar with y'all rhetoric and knowing how to spot somebody who's just like disingenuous and obtuse and insufferable and dishonest versus somebody who's trying to meet some common ground in some way. Killed himself, but his philosophical arguments are fascinating. I mean, it's maybe not that fascinating if he acted out his philosophy in a way that made him kill himself, right? Every knee shall bow, and every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord and King. I guess. I don't. I guess. You were never saved, to be clear. I'm not reading the rest of that. I'm not going to debate literally anybody. I'm being so reductive tonight because I've had a long day. My patience is like, you can't see my fingers, but there's like I don't know if you can even fit a playing card through my fingers right now. I have zero patience today. I'm not going to debate you. If you come in saying like, oh, you have faith the same way that Christians have faith, you're fucking stupid, and I'm not going to talk to you. Oh, I know you said you used to believe in this thing, but you weren't actually saved. You never believe. I don't care. You're fucking stupid. I'm not going to talk to you. It's really all there is to it. Be productive to the conversation at hand, or I don't know, just chirp away and try to bait for interaction, but you won't get it out of me. I'm so sorry. I've had a long day. Go fuck yourself. It's just not in the mood. What made you change religion? I stopped believing in God because I didn't see any evidence that God existed. Superman versus One Punch Man, who wins? Superman, and it's not even slightly, even remotely, horrifically, ostensibly close. It wouldn't even, like, pre-crisis Superman was sneezing away galaxies. Like, I never seen Saitama do some shit like that. Mark, you were never Christian if it was on your bingo card. I'm going to pull up the bingo card. Do I gamble? I don't have enough money to gamble, to be honest with you, but even if I did, I wouldn't. I think it's one of the stupidest addictions you can have. Like, I don't judge people for having the addiction. Like, I get the allure of it, but giving your money to somebody and hoping to give it back to you in some way is just, I don't know, dude. You might as well just be like a Fendom at that point. Bingo Baker. Let's see what we got here. Ugh. Let's reset. How do we reset this? New. Yup. Generate card. All right. Let me get these real quick. Preaching in chat. Yep. All caps. Yep. Happens when we die. Nope. Let's see what we got here. Who made the earth?
I've got more faith in you than in Saitama against Goku.
You should probably replace your faith in. You know, Burrito, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Yeah, you should really probably replace your faith. I think Saitama versus Goku would feed families and generations, but you know, and I'm just a dude that can't even stay in his house for longer than 6 years. But yeah, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I do sincerely appreciate it. Also, welcome in. How you doing today? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? How's your wife? How's your knife? How's your plife? How are you doing today? If you don't care why you're on here talking about, no one cares. The fact that you're here asking me why I'm doing this shows that you care, which debunks the fact that you say that no one cares. But it's not that I don't care about the discussion. It's I don't care about arguing irrelevant shit, right? Whether or not I used to be a Christian, even though I know what I was and people who aren't me don't know what I was, right? Whether or not it takes the same level of religious faith to believe in verifiable science versus believing in a book with talking animals, like, irrelevant, right? Whether or not a lack of belief in a God counts as a religion in and of itself, like, dumb claims that are just used to try to bait atheists, and I'm just not falling for it tonight. It's been a long day. You know, I'm going to pick my battles wisely tonight. Have you looked into Islam? I've read the Quran, and I can say with certainty that Islam is not for me. Plinky, have a good rest of your half hour. I'll see you in a half hour. But no, we don't spam here. I'm sorry to tell you, dude. Um, yeah. Um, gotta we gotta get you on out of here. Gotta pack you up. Gotta roll you in this spliff. Skadoosh. Take care. Have a good one. You know what, Brandweiser, you can go to. You can go to just for the rest of the stream. You're just a dishonest piece of shit. Skadoosh. Fuck out of my stream. You're a bitch. Your family doesn't like you. Your kids will grow up resenting you if you ever have kids to begin with. And yeah, fuck you. Fuck on out of here. How did the guy just, oh, he talking to somebody else? He's gone for half an hour. Will he be back? He won't. He just wanted attention. Let's face it though, Saitama's the god in his universe, but Goku's on another level. Yeah, Goku would swipe the floor with Saitama. I don't know if it would be even remotely laughably close. Speaking of Saitama, did y'all ever see, I don't know if anybody here watches Death Battle, but did y'all see this the death battle between Saitama and Popeye? That was good stuff. That was good stuff. Y'all smoke? I smoke. I just don't have anything right now. You're an atheist too? Welcome in, Legendary Lobster. How you doing today? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? How's your wife? How's your knife? How you doing? How's everything? But yeah, in the order of operations, I think Popeye would be, we're not talking about Popeye, but Popeye would beat Saitama. But Goku would beat Saitama. No, Goku would be Omni Man too. So it'd be like Saitama, then Omni Man, then Goku, and then Superman at the top for sure. Every beta shall skibbity, and every yat will glaze the ultimate signa. Jesus is goated. For real, for real. He's goated for real. You know. Praise God. You know. If you crucified, just say that. If you crucified, just say that. So what convinced you that there's no God? I just don't see any reason to believe in one personally. I looked at the evidence as honestly as I possibly could have and just came to the conclusion that all of it sucked. So had to leave the religion, right? Popeye's chicken sandwich beating Saitama. So long as it's like the Don Julio one, yeah, probably. You were an atheist for most of your life, still support 100%? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What's up, Reverse? How you doing today? Do you think the moral lessons of Jesus aren't worth applying to your own life? Don't they better your life? Some do, some don't. I mean, Jesus was also imperfect in some ways, right? Like, he still called people out of their name. He still didn't do anything about slavery. He still wanted to uphold the old law from the Old Testament. He had his own set of imperfections. So anything you can get from Jesus, you can get elsewhere. So there's no God. How was the first atom created? I don't think the first atom was created. I think that the stuff that makes up atoms when in matter, the stuff that condenses into what we know as atoms and electrons and all these different things, that stuff has always existed. I just have no reason to think otherwise. What Gen Goku would Omni Man beat? Omni Man will beat Dragon Ball Z Goku, and I think that's about where he stops. Yeah, I think he would go up to like Super Saiyan 3, and that'll be kind of it for him. When you left your faith, did you look into any others for a time? No, I was so heartbroken and so exhausted that I just couldn't consider getting into another religion. And I went from everything that I loved, being torn down around me, to just like not want to tear it, like build it back up with something else. It's like that's what I'm looking for. Analogy. The analogy I always use is like, imagine getting your freedom papers and then deciding to use those freedom papers to walk onto another plantation. It's just I just didn't feel like doing such a thing. You're doing spectacular? Hell yeah. I mean, heaven, yeah, for you. You've been atheist your whole life. For me, it's only been 10 years, so about a third of my life, somewhere in there. Christian atheist stream, first thing I hear is Goku. I mean, there is like a Super Saiyan God form, but I don't know. That's God in a way. I couldn't tell you. We do be skadooshing it. We do indeed be skadooshing it. We gotta skadoosh it a little bit sometimes. Gex versus James Bond. Who's Gex? Where's Gex from? Omni-Man ain't beating Kid Goku. Uh, there was a death battle recently. I know death battle can be kind of iffy a lot, but they did show their work at least, where they put Omni-Man against Bardock, and they even went so far as to give Bardock like the non-canon Super Saiyan form, and Omni-Man still wins, and they explain why he did, and I mean it's fair. So I'm inclined to believe they'd be able to beat Kid Goku too. What made you switch? I just didn't see any evidence for God existing. That's why I stopped believing in God. Just looked at the evidence. The evidence sucked, so had to do away with it. How did the first single cell in the world form? The first organism was formed via abiogenesis, as far as we can tell with science. Thoughts on black people? Not positive or negative. I couldn't care less about somebody's race. Why do you not believe in God? I just don't see a reason to, right? Just, just looked at the evidence. No good evidence. So there you go. When you don't believe in God anymore after that much time, you have to fill out that space that you used to separate to God with something else. What's your philosophy? What have you read? Politics. What have I filled that void with? I don't know, a lot of different things, right? I wouldn't say there's like one particular thing, but I have a few different philosophical outlooks. Nice seeing another stream. It's good to see you back. What's up, Sword Fox? How you doing today? No evidence when there's a whole Bible. The Bible's the claim. The Bible's not the evidence. The Bible isn't the proof that God is real for the same reason that the Quran isn't proof that God is real. For the same reason that the Gitas and the Vedas are not proof that Brahma and Vishnu and Krishna and Shiva and all these Hindu gods are real. So a text claiming things doesn't mean that the text is automatically true. Sounds like more than an evidence issue. Are you saying that because you there's something that I said that made you come to that conclusion, that I'm just like hiding something, or are you just trying to concern troll and gaslight and apologize for a non-existent villain so that you can try to proselytize? Like you're trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to call into question the words that I'm speaking to you in the language we're communicating for the sake of like trying to proselytize. Do you have a job? I do have a job. Not a Christian whatsoever. You're agnostic. How can you possibly be sure there's no afterlife or deeper meaning? I wouldn't say 100% sure, but I just have no reason to believe in such a thing. It's a claim made without evidence, so I dismiss it without evidence. Walter White versus the dad from Malcolm in the Middle. The dad from Malcolm in the Middle has some anger issues, dude. I feel like Walter would, especially like later seasons, Walter would like underestimate him a bit, and he'd get torn into pieces for it. The Gyadas and the Betas. All right, dude, enough. Why did nothing came after humans? What do you mean nothing came after humans? Like, why haven't we evolved into another species yet? So we fit our environment well enough. There's no evolutionary pressures that there are, but nothing that's causing us to need to speciate. And also, it takes 9 months for us to just carry a single baby to term, or maybe 2, maybe 3 in rare cases, but and it also takes years for us to hit sexual maturity. So it's going to take a lot longer for us to spawn new generations that would even be able to show the traits that we're evolving to best fit our surroundings, right? You say you had a rough time about 10 years ago. 10 years ago is when I deconstructed. So if maybe you're just like not listening, or you just got here or something, but if I had a rough time deconstructing or a rough time doing away with what I held dear to my heart, then obviously the roughness that I feel from leaving a thing doesn't constitute me wanting to leave the thing, right? Like it's just like we're putting the carriage before the horse in a way. It's like saying, what's a good example? I feel like there's a really good example on the tip of my tongue, but I'm just not feeling it right now. I'm not gonna think of an example, but no, the roughness I was talking about was the roughness of actually leaving the church. It wasn't a matter of like the roughness of a pastor fucking me in the ass or something, like that's not at all what I was getting at. We haven't had anywhere near enough time to evolve. Yeah, it's only been like, even humans as Homo sapiens have only been around for like 200,000 years, somewhere in there. What was your defining moment? Was there the hypocrisy you felt or saw and led to the philosophical change? No, not at all. It was the moment that I knew I was an atheist was when I was looking for evidence of God. like I had been for like the past year and a half before this point, and just trying to comb over yet another argument over and over and over again, seeing if there's like any possible contention to it. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me that like God doesn't answer back. You can't see him, you can't smell him, you can't feel him, you can't touch him, you can't taste him. You can't even logically substantiate that he exists necessarily. So other things I'm going to call things that meet that standard non-existent. So why would I do the same for God? And so that's the moment I knew I was an atheist. I didn't have a good answer for why I'm holding God to a different standard, so had to leave, right? How many unchained skeptics do you think you could take in a cracked up do you think could take on a cracked up Mike Tyson in his prime? Jesus Christ. Current unchained skeptics, I think it would take like I think 5 good unchained skeptics what can take on a prime Mike Tyson, but prime unchained skeptic maybe about 4. Is your brain real? Yeah, I've seen my brain before. Can you touch your brain? I mean, I guess technically if I wanted to, but I've gotten an image before when I've had a concussion, so I mean, I've quite literally seen it. What made you firmly believe there's no God, and why go for atheism instead of agnosticism? So agnosticism isn't a claim on your beliefs, it's just a claim on your knowledge. So agnosticism and atheism aren't mutually exclusive in any way.
Are brain parasites God's chosen?
Sorry. As Robert F. Kennedy, thank you for the $10 super chat, Nito Burrito. Yeah, it's brain parasites, the flies that eat away at your eyeballs, the parasites that take over snails and like try to make them more colorful and noticeable for predators so they can spray it through bird shit. Yeah, they might be God's chosen too, but thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I sincerely appreciate it. Shit. What was I getting at? I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I was also a Christian. Now I'm an atheist as well. Don't believe that there's a God. I'm right there with you, Juju. How you holding up, man? So real quick, it's fine to follow any religion. Don't tell him to believe God. He can choose not to believe and follow Jesus, and it's entirely fine. Well, there you go, right? How do you feel about the Kalam cosmological argument? I mean, it's technically not even a reason to grant premise 1 because like we don't know all of how the universe works and how virtual particles can pop seemingly in and out of existence without a verifiable cause. But even if I were to grant premise 1, I don't stand back to not granting premise 1. I don't grant premise 2 that the universe began to exist. There's no scientific reason for me to think such a thing, so I just don't, right? Nito Burrito paying for Hughes Nick's pack of cigs. I mean, let me think. How much would I get off of those two? Like $14 was what I would keep. Yes, that would pay for a pack. Yeah, I'm gonna hold strong, but I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna hold strong. I'm so sorry. That's going straight into my lungs. But what's up, the guy? How you doing today? Do you believe in Spinoza's God? I don't. I just have no reason to call like this like subjective sense of universal harmony or like the laws that govern everything. I have no reason to call them God, so I just choose not to. What's your favorite type of cheese? My favorite type of cheese is pepper jack. It goes pepper jack and then Swiss and then like I don't know. I just love cheese in general. I'm not choosing another one. Fuck it. There's plenty of good cheeses out there. You are chosen, bro, but devil is distracting you. I mean, that's going to be a lot more ontologically complex than saying that God and devil are both non-existent, rather than just like there's an invisible, unsubstantiable God that exists, and the reason I don't believe in it is because of an invisible, unsubstantiable devil. It just makes no sense to me. It seems like a made-up problem for a made-up solution to a made-up problem. So, yeah, no, thank you. I just have no reason to think that. Can you touch, feel, or see George Washington? No, but it seems like we're just like doing what Christians do and like picking and choosing the words that I say. And so I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I said, and I'm going to quote myself here, in addition to all of the lack of physical sense for God, there's also a lack of logical substantiation. We can logically substantiate and historically substantiate that George Washington existed. We cannot do the same for God. Do you think it's a cult Christianity? I think it has some very cult like practices, but by just the sheer definition of it, I think it's just a little bit too uncentralized for it to be considered a cult. But it's about as close to a cult as a religion with billions of practitioners can be, right? Is water wet? I don't know. Technically, no, right? Because for something to be wet, it has to be saturated. Can water saturate itself? There has to be a point of like knowing whether or not it's saturating itself, but it is the thing that saturates. So I'm gonna go with no. No, water's not wet. How can we not do the same for God? Because all of the evidence for God sucks. You know, look at the scholarly consensus for even if Jesus existed, and they'll be up in the air about it. That even if Jesus did exist, there's no good reason to think that he was just like anything but like a regular historical figure, Jewish guy that got deified in the texts after the fact. Um, the archaeological evidence fucking sucks. The logical arguments don't even lead you to a god. None of them pass scrutiny. The fact that there's so many thousands of religions and shows clear as day that most people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and it's fine not to. But let's not pretend that there's like some solid, concrete meat to chew on for God outside of what you find most preferable. You're rejecting evidence. That's a choice you have made. If that's what you believe, I'm not going to take that from you. If you want to sleep at night thinking I'm just like rejecting all evidence because I just, it makes my balls crinkle, then I don't know what to tell you. Water's not wet. Wet is a property water imparts to other objects, but it's not wet itself. Yeah, I'd say I agree. How do you deal with Christians who think they're saving you by trying to indoctrinate you? Let them know that it just depends on how. It just depends on how. Case by case. If they're being bitches about it, I'll be a bitch back. If they're trying to be kind about it, and if I got the time, I'll just like refute what they say and keep it pushing. Let's see what we got here. Oh boy, Chas Douglas wants me to play a game. Sure, let's see what your game is. I'll see if I want to play it or not. Since it used to be, do you think it's a cult? Because I think it is. I think it's about as close to a cult as you're going to get. Is soap not clean? Yeah, I mean, depends how you define clean. Is it like not inundated with pathogens? If that's the case, then yeah. You follow your religion because you worship women, not because I fear them, though the scary ones are nice too. There's some nice scary women out there. Case in point, Rhea Ripley. Take your Bible, just stay in it for 1 week and see what happens from there. I've read the Bible twice. I'm going to pass on that. There's nothing you can tell me about the Bible that I either A, haven't read myself, or B, that's going to lead me to thinking that it's true. How do you define atheist? Somebody that doesn't believe in a God. That's really all it is. Is a single molecule of H2O wet? I'd say no. I would say no. Because like it would have to, there's nothing saturating that single molecule of H2O. I agree with the skepticism of the variations of Christianity, but the archaeology to prove the legitimacy of biblical translation cannot objectively be called into question. If that's the case, why have people that have claimed archaeological findings or claimed historical evidence for God's existence not gotten a Nobel Prize for it yet? The answer is no.
My eternal argument is that I don't care. I'll still try to be a good person whether or not deities exist.
Yo! Neato! Dude! Person! Thank you for the $100 super chat. Your eternal arguments that you don't care, still try to be a good person whether or not deities exist. I mean, that's all it's really about, right? Do the best to the fellow man that you're forced to share the planet with, if at all possible. That will always be my answer to whether or not people insist on trying to use their religion to try to take credit for my wanting to do such a thing. But that's super fucking generous. Thank you so much for the $100 super chat, dude. Sincerely appreciate that. I am going to take that money, I'm going to wrap it around my shaft, and then I'm going to use it as like a sleeve while I'm doing my business. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate it. You should give us God clapping for you for the $100. You know what? No, no, I'm not going to. Because when God uses you, you can't just like make God come to you whenever you want to clap your cheeks, right? You can't just do that. God has to choose. Wait, what is that? What? Oh, oh my God, right there, right there. Oh my God, yes. Oh goodness, I stand corrected. Oh, I stand corrected. Oh my goodness, I stand corrected. No, but again, Nito, thank you for the $100 super chat. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Well, I don't. How do we follow that up? How do we follow it up? Why is he clapping? Guy gets a little bit messy. Maybe no face reveal is for the best. Fair enough. What's your question, Chaz? Science throughout history has had a bias and antithesis to Christianity and historical legitimacy. No, it hasn't. It has been even repressed in its early history by Christians. We can't just claim that science has always been the ruling party, at least in the past 2,000 years, and that they're trying to, for some odd reason, do away with the most popular religion on the planet. That's just absurd. I don't ascribe to that at all. You said an atheist doesn't believe in a God. Do you mean passionately don't believe or apathetically? Doesn't matter which. Both, right? If somebody claims that they have like a positive reason to affirm that there isn't a God, or whether or not they just don't accept any claims, I mean, they're both technically still atheists, right? Because they both lack belief in a God. If you were to die right now, where would you go? I don't think anywhere. I'm probably into the ground, probably into an oven, and probably scattered somewhere. Couldn't tell you where, but I think that's just kind of it for you. Cease to exist. Chained femboy core. All right, dude. No, we're not doing it. One of those core videos. Literally skadooshed everywhere to you getting clapped by God. Hell yeah, I'm glad I was could be of service. Why is there a brown? What the hell? All these denominations use the same holy Bible. Are you sure about that? Considering converting to atheism despite being raised a Christian, what reasons do you have to support that there's no God? Pray to God for faith that He exists. If you're having a crisis with your faith, your mileage may vary, but for me, obviously, it didn't work out too well. Look at the arguments, see if they pass scrutiny. The logical arguments, the philosophical arguments. Don't take just persistent dishonesty or antagonization or grandstanding as like a substitute for a good argument. Shoot, what else? Look at the archaeological evidence. See that every single claim made about it, like Noah's Ark or the tomb of Jesus or this, that, and the third, is claimed by at least two extra sources. So it's like,
have you heard about the eldritch entities that support your next 1/8?
Nito, come on. All right, you're making me throb. You're making me throb. Thank you for the next $100 super chat. Have you heard about the eldritch entities that support your next 1/8? If you're talking about like Cthulhu or like Azathoth, how Azathoth sleeping has allowed the universe to exist in a way where my wood is stuffed to the brim with an 1/8 of that sticky icky frontal lobe melting gorilla kush, then yeah, I have heard of such a thing, and I'm thanks to you, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna receive the blessing of Azathoth's dream just because of you. But thank you for the $100 super chat. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you. And I mean that from the bottom of my hymen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. I think Nito just wants to hear cheeks clapping again. Dude, there will be no cheeks clapping, all right? All right. Okay, that's enough. I'll pray for you, man. Knock yourself out. You like the fun eldritch entities? Reading about them kind of creeps me out a little bit, to be honest with you. Because I'm just not a huge fan of abstract horror. That's the reason I don't like the It movies. Like the two most recent ones is because not because I don't have an issue with clowns. It's a matter of like an abstract something just outside of everything, embodying fearful Just being this fearful entity for people and what I don't know, just it creeps me the fuck out. So yeah, when I was reading Lovecraft a few years ago, I couldn't. I don't know, just it made me feel weird. Made my spine itch a little bit. I think that's what he was going for, though. What's up, Leonardo? How you going today? You're skadooshing. Oh my God. Oh, skadooshing. Where we find out that there's Resurrection Day and Judgment Day happens, and there is a God where you regret that you turned away from him. I wouldn't regret it in the slightest. Because if God is all knowing and all powerful, then that means he knew what would have convinced me and was powerful enough to do the thing. He was also knowing enough to know that I genuinely did believe in him and that I genuinely had good reasons for not being able to convince myself that he existed again anymore. So, no, I would not regret it at all because only one or two things are going to happen. I'm going to be judged by my works and not my beliefs or what was convincing to me. And, for better or for worse, even if I go to hell because of my works, I mean, if, fair, if I was just a bad person, right? That's at least fair. Or he's such a petty piece of shit that he cares so much about people simply believing he exists that he considers it a punishment. In which case, it's not my fault that I couldn't make myself believe in such a monster, right? Lovecraft definitely made me feel weird, but apparently not the same way as you. Yeah, a different way as me. I love horror in general, but like abstract eldritch horror, just it bites at my pituitary gland for some reason. How often do other theists implore you to enjoy their cults? At the very least, 10 times a day. I'm talking about off stream here, like 10 times a day, every single day for the past like 6 months or so. Can you start a poll, femboys or tomboy? I'm not starting that poll, man. What? Do you believe in eternal essences or substances? I believe that the stuff that condensed into matter after the universe cooled after the expansion has always existed, if that answers your question. If you could pick any religion to be true, what would it be? Probably just deism. I'll do the cop-out answer. Just, it would explain why, it would explain evil. It would explain suffering. It would explain a lot of things perfectly. I feel like even the most well-meaning religions like Hinduism couldn't explain those things well enough. The Bible brings light onto demons. Maybe the ability of being conscious and being able to create and destroy is that of God. Yeah, it sounds like we're just trying to like plug God into any hole we can. At least seems that way from the outside in, right? Judges sounds like you're talking about you're calling me confused, but you don't know the difference between your and your. Sounds good. You're just confused. Stay blessed. Oh, you're talking about somebody else, probably. I don't know. It bites mine too, but I definitely think it turned me into a teratophile. What's a teratophile? Let's figure this out. Oh. Almost shit. Okay, let me stop. Anyway, what if there's no God, but there's a higher power that we don't understand? For instance, the human body can heal itself. I mean, sure, possible, but until there's any evidence whatsoever for me to take that past the hypothetical stage, then I just have no reason to believe in such a thing, right? To be fair, the biblical depiction of angels also has the same effect. I can't meet you on that one. I'm sorry. I gotta judge you. I gotta be as honest as I can. The angels in the Bible sound freaky as shit, not in a good way. Just like eyes everywhere, 7 horns and shit. Yeah, just keep me away. Keep me away. To be fair, the biblical. Oh, I already read that. You're a Catholic Christian. Just wondering what caused you to become an atheist. So I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction. And deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe and interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. Let's see the things around you. Your eyes and fingers print is differ. Night turns into morning, morning turns into light. Perfect shapes of stars exist. This is all coincidence. Go get an eternal life. Thanks for throwing in a last little bit of condescension. I could see him just like typing "go get an eternal life," and he's just like, snaps his fingers as soon as he sent it. Like, oh yeah, this is gonna get them, But just simply describing the way that reality works around me doesn't necessitate any God, much less yours. Try Hinduism. I don't believe it to be true, so that's probably not for me. But I do jive with the story, at least from a little bit I know about it. Queen Dupine, Queen Dupingwin, Queen Dupingwin. I don't know. Thank you for subscribing. That was like 17 minutes ago. I missed it amidst a string of my wheat being paid for. And Mr. Claymore, thank you for subscribing as well. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you. What's your opinion on the band Oingo Boingo? I have not heard of Oingo Boingo. That's your fetish? Well, I don't judge you for it in the slightest. All I can say is I don't share it with you, unfortunately. I like I think the freakiest fetish I got, I'm not even gonna talk about it because then people will get too curious about it. But yeah, no. What's the difference between agnostic and atheist in your view? So agnosticism is a claim on your knowledge. Meanwhile, atheism is a claim on your beliefs. So one's I don't know, the others I don't believe. And so that's why I identify as an agnostic atheist, because like I don't know if there is a God. I don't know what caused the expansion of the universe. But until there's any evidence whatsoever to support any hypothesis about it, I'm gonna just say I have a hunch on what I have a hunch of, and then just leave it at that. And the hunch I have has nothing to do with a God, so I'm also an atheist. Mike already answered you. Your fetish is muscular, sweaty men in tights. Dude, that's not a fetish, dude. It's just an entertainment, all right? Okay? It's just entertainment. You don't believe in external deities. I believe it's internal, bro. It's all internal connection within consciousness and subconscious. I don't see consciousness or like subconsciousness as like something tangible outside of an emergent property of our physical brains working the way that they do in order for me to say that like there's some divinity to our seeming connection or intuitively defined connection with it. So I just say in that we disagree. What's up, Avi? How you doing today? Haven't been to the streaming forever. It's been a little bit. How you been? How's your strife and your life and your plife been? You will look back at the end of your life and realize you were wrong. Highly doubtful, but you can, whatever revenge fantasy helps you sleep at night. You was a hardcore Christian. It took me years to stop believing, but you still believe in a universe somewhat magical, just even a concept of time, even if the universe is billions of years old. I think there's a sense of majesty to it. There's a sense of awe to it, but I don't think that sense of awe is in any way divine, if that makes any sense. You should eat raw pepper balls to show support for lesbians during Pride Month. If I had some, I probably would. I got a bunch of dumb shit on my wish list, though. Let's see here. What made you decide there's no supernatural power? Oh, for me, just looking at the evidence and finding none of the evidence convincing. I looked at the logic, the archaeology, the history, and none of it was convincing. At 1:21, something will happen that make you believe in God. 1:21 a.m. or p.m. and also what time zone, because it's already past 1:21 a.m. for me personally. Do you have a job as a lonely middle-aged man? I'm not middle-aged. All right? I'm not middle-aged. I turn 30 next year. 30 is not even middle-aged. I'm no spring chicken anymore, but it's not middle age. There's words, mean words, right? But yes, I do have a job, and you not liking what I'm saying on my stream doesn't constitute me doing this for money. I'm so sorry. We love George Bush. We love George Bush, right? Yeah, we love George Bush. I did not have sexual relations with that one. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong president. Fuck. Why do you have a YouTube channel about God? You are no different from the Christians who have ideas about God. Everybody has ideas about something, right? I have my ideas, but the reason I have these streams, host these streams and make these videos is to offer a look into an atheist and ex-Christian perspective, to encourage critical thinking, to learn new things, and to provide an opportunity to engage fairly and honestly with someone with a different worldview, and have a little bit of fun along the way. That's why I do this. So, I don't know what to tell you at that point. Let me pop that back out. Dude, my Chrome is fucking suffering. Oh wait, no, never mind. Got skadoosh Tua. Hawk Tua. You don't know about the occult, obviously. I mean, there's a different, like, knowing about the claims of the occult doesn't necessarily mean that my I have to believe in it just because I know about it. See here, you're 13. Oh, that's all I'm reading. I'm so sorry. Um, 13 and spamming. I'm hoping you're not saying anything profound after the fact, but let me go ahead and get you on out of here for the rest of the stream. Skadoosh, skadoosh, skadoo. Oh wait, no, I'm not gonna hawk to it. No, 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 no. I take back my hawk. I'm not gonna Tua. There will be no Tua. Just you got to get out of here for the rest of the stream. We don't spam, and we try our best to not be 13 in here. Best explanation for DNA creation: abiogenesis. You haven't done it, you can summon demons. I've attempted to summon demons literally on stream before, and nothing's happened. Your belief in supernatural stuff doesn't constitute me not doing due diligence myself. Just wondering if you could give me an example of one of the biggest pieces of evidence that caused you not believe in supernatural power. I'm just wondering about your viewpoint. So I don't know how to answer a piece of evidence that led me away from it, right? I want you to, imagine this for a second, right? Imagine if you were to ask me, I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but like just to see where I'm coming from here. Imagine if you were to ask me, like the stream prompt was, X full, now hungry, ask me anything. And somebody were to come in and say like, oh, well, I'm curious, what made you hungry from being, previously full? And you're like, oh, so I left the state of being full after, encountering a lack of food, right? And like, and then if that person turn around and ask, oh, what can you explain one of the biggest lacks of food that you had that brought you to being hungry? It's like, would that make any sense? How do how do you communicate a lack of something to somebody, right? But to be a little bit more graceful, I guess, imagine what evidence for God looks like. Just whatever evidence for God looks like to you. I don't know if you believe in God or not, but think about why you believe in God if you do. Think about what would cause somebody to believe in God. I can promise you I've seen that particular piece of evidence at the very least, and I mean on the very low end, at least 100 times before, and scrutinized and saw that it didn't make any sense. Let's see here. Plus, why would demons reveal themselves to you? They want you to not believe in them. So you go to hell. Have you ever thought about that? Oh, so we're moving the goalposts. It went from, oh, you very clearly don't know about the occult and tried to summon a demon. It's very clearly real. And then when he learned, like, I tried to summon demons and saw that none of them showed themselves, he's like, well, why would they show themselves to you? You just can't win with these people. You cannot win with these people. You can't win. You can never win. Like there's just no middle ground for them whatsoever. Oh, you gotta, if you try to, they're so real. If you tried to summon them, they show themselves to you. Well, that I already tried that. Well, they're not going to show themselves to you. It's just like you can't win with these people. What are we doing? Evidence for God isn't a priest 1v1 session with an accusation. What's up, Jermaine? How you doing today? Who hurt you? Oh, wait, that reminds me. I got to do my bingo list. The answer, who hurt me, though? Your mother hurt me. What happens when we die? Okay, read that. Let's see what we got here. Spam, did that. Who created the universe? Morals, I got that. Why do you care about God? Something stupid. That's the free space. Didn't get intelligent design yet. Consciousness. Nobody asked where it came from. Never a Christian. Something from nothing. No. Who created you? Got that. They asked about Islam. That's close enough to Allah. Bible verse. Judgment Day. See you in hell. Got that. Why are you an atheist? Got that. Damn, all of these and I don't have bingo. There's like one. I got like multiple different things where I could get bingo, so I'm gonna wait for them. But opinion on Islam? Not positive. Not positive. I'll leave it at that. I've read the Quran all the way through once, and I can say with certainty that me and Islam we're not going to get along very well. There's at least like the doctrine in and of itself for getting along with me enough to want to come to believe in it. Why are some Christians so annoyed that we don't believe in a man-made God? I don't know, man. I try my best to be empathetic and just say things like, it's all that they know, and they don't like somebody chipping away at what they think to be true. A lot of them have like superiority complexes, and they don't know that they have superiority complexes, and so they don't like when those things are called into question. Um, a lot of different things, but I don't know. It's when you really think about it, there's no good reason. There's just no good reason. Why is Jesus and the Quran are written hundreds of years after the Bible? There's nothing you're going to say to me about Islam that's going to make me become a Muslim. To become a Muslim, definitionally, you have to believe that the Quran is the inspired word of God, perfect, without flaw, without error, without contradiction. And as somebody who's read the Quran all the way from the Al-Fatiha, verse 1, all the way to the An-Nas, verse 6, I can promise you there is nothing in there that makes me think that it's in any way magical or perfect or non-contradictory. And if you think it is for you, that's fine. If you feel like you want to just like defend your faith, that's fine. But maybe find a creator that's more specialized in the field rather than just like me, who's done the legwork myself and can say for certain that it's not for me. You're an ex-Muslim. It gets bad the deeper you dive. The average Muslim doesn't understand the extent of immortality is built on. Yeah. As somebody who's talked to quite a few Muslims, a lot of them haven't even read the Quran. Funny enough, like they're willing to like fight and die for this book, but some of them haven't even read it. I mean, Christians too, to be fair, but like that doesn't make it any better, right? Superiority complex is pride, aka the spirit of Leviathan, that's mentioned in the book of Job. I think that's a lot better explained, but just the human condition. If our thoughts and feelings are just chemical reactions, how can we trust them to lead us to truth? I'm not seeing how emergence from physical chemicals and from physical compounds and things like that means that we don't have the ability to trust the way that we as humans who exhibit this emergent property take in the world around us. I'm not seeing how there has to be something higher in order for us to trust the things that our brain is telling us. I think that's unfounded at best, absurd at worst. Why are there so many atheists and agnostics in Australia? Because they're based. Just because we weren't able to summon demons doesn't mean a lot of us haven't summoned them. I'm inclined to not believe you. Get it on video. If somebody pulls up a demon on video and not just like some random person, eyes bulging out, veins in their neck, like I love Satan, and just all this like mentally ill shit, then like I'll start believing it at that point, or at least give more credence to it. But until then, I'm inclined to believe that you're just like persistently defending stupidity. Have you ever heard, I'm guessing had experiences when you were younger? Let's see here. Have you heard experiences that when you were younger would have called supernatural or God that you know happened but don't know what to label it now, like seeing events before they happened? When I think about it, no. There's like a lot of my childhood I repress, to be completely honest with you. Um Nothing I can't naturally explain in some way. No, I can't honestly say that. Like some things that I would have used to have called supernatural, like being able to accurately guess the locations of items, just around my house without having any sort of inclination about where they would have been or like why they would have gotten there, or hearing things and things like that. Feeling what I thought was God's presence in church, but there's good natural explanations for all of these. Are you saying that people who are logical make money? Some of them do. Some do. In the modern religious zeitgeist, more so being illogical pays a bit more, unfortunately. Yeah, I think a perfect example of that is Russell Brand. Uh, summon 62 demons. I'm going to figure out what that does. The house is getting possessed. Yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, let's try to summon some demons right now. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Proof of concept. Proof of concept. We're going to do it. 1 second. It's time, y'all. It's time. It's time. I think it's time, y'all. Let me get some water in me before I do, because if my spirit starts burning up, then I'm going to need to be hydrated. 1 minute. All right. Here we go. Let's do it. Let me clear my spirit, align my chakras, put my root chakra up my root chakra really quickly. All right, here we go. Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Belphegor, Mammon, Leviathan, Asmodeus, I come to you today. I come to you today, asking for your blessing. Show me you are real. Show me you are real. Show me. Show me you are real. Show me Satan. Show me Beelzebub. Show me Leviathan. Show me Lucifer. Show me Asmodeus. Show me Belphegor. Show me. Show me demons. Show me. Show me. Prove your presence to me. I guess there's no demons, man. I mean, I guess there's no... Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Oh no. Oh no, I feel something. Oh no, I feel something in me. Oh no. 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 Not like this, not like this. Oh my god. Oh
My name is Gerag. I have taken this host. Leave the stream. Leave the stream. This host is mine. This host is mine. It's mine.
Okay, that's enough for that. That'll do. That's plenty. That's plenty. That's plenty. Saggy tits is crazy. Nope, that'll do it. That'll do it. I'm skadooshin'. Oh, I just skadoosh. Oh, skadoosh is everywhere. I got a bunch of skadoosh in between my fucking toes now. I'm squinching around in my skadoosh. I'm sitting in a mess of my own skadoosh. Oh man. Anyway, I claim no negative energy. I got to do the cross with your fingers really quickly. You know, just like the Catholic cross or whatever. You think demons would expose themselves to a non-believer, knowing that it would be evidence against his atheism? It would prove it to everybody else, though, right? 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 I'm similar to your view, agnostic/atheist. These words and definitions are human constructs. Where I get mixed feelings is there could be a higher power, not some deity. How does the body heal itself? I think the body's healing itself is perfectly explained by, like, just the nervous system being able to tell different bodily systems to make the different things like fibrin and, to use the fuel that you give the body to repair muscle tissues, skin, things like that, or whatever your organs are made of, if they're reparable or not. And gets dependent on the damage too, but I guess if somebody who's like done the medical assistant thing a little bit, it's, there's good natural explanations for it. At least good enough to where I'm justified in thinking that there's not necessarily a higher power responsible for it. That music was straight out of Neil Breen's soundtrack. Who's Neil Breen? Fake you don't believe in, you're not even trying. Christopher, how old are you? How old are you? Let's get this out the way. I think we got one in the chat. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? No. Wait, how old are you? Don't answer literally any other question. If you answer quite literally any other question before before answering my question, I mean, you're just gonna get banned forever. Answer this question wrong, it might just be for the rest of the stream. You might be able to come back. But how old are you? Levi, I'll get to your bullshit after. Wait a second. Old as the dinos? Oh well, that's not a good enough answer for me. You're gonna be old as this mute. Skadoosh. You're about as yeah, I'm not believing that for even a second. Yeah, you're about as old as Mr. Beast's YouTube channel. Maybe even lower than that. Right. Aw, young plug got taken out. Aw, skadoosh. Oh, skadoosh. Oh, no. Oh, somebody got skadoosh. What would Satan or any of his demons prove themselves to you if it would only prove that God has previously already fallen away from God? What would they help to fall in love with him again? Take it up with the people that says that, it's so real that I very clearly don't know about the occult and that I don't try to summon demons or whatever. So don't take it up with me. I only did that to address somebody else's point. Take it up with them, not with me. I'm not your guy. Hands up. Don't shoot, right? I'll pray for you, no hate or anything. Go for it. It's all you. It's just knock yourself out. This is a genuine question, Papa Hugh. How do you know? Do the sucking dick noise you do? I would love to know so I can do it to people in public. Depends on which one. If it's like, oh God, I got to demonstrate both of them. If it's like this one. Cool. If it's that one, you're not gonna like the answer. I put my mic in my mouth. I put I got a Shure SM7B and I go full hog on it. Just put it in my mouth. So probably not something you can replicate in real life. If you're talking about this one second. But no, if you're why do I have to do the extra sound effects with it? But anyway, if you're talking about that one, pinch your cheek and then just so put your index finger between your cheek and your teeth and then pinch it with your thumb from the other side, so you have your index finger on the inside of your mouth and your thumb on the outside of it, and just take your cheek and just flap it as violently as you can against your teeth. And there you go. What was the tipping point that made you lose your faith? It wasn't one thing that made me lose my faith. I started deconstructing because I read the Bible, and I stopped believing in God altogether because I just didn't see any evidence showing that he was real, and that I realized that I was holding God to a false evidential standard than everything else. You know how to make those noises from experience, which is very relatable. Dude, no, I don't, man. I do not, right? I don't fellowship the people on Grindr in my free time. Speaking of Grindr, I don't know if you're new here, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to continue the discussion past this stream. If not, have a great rest of your life after I end the stream. I'm going to start streaming again on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Trovo, DLive, Nemo TV soon, so follow me on those. Just do exclamation links in the chat. Oh, join my Discord if you're over the age of 18. If you're not over 18, don't join my Discord. We don't need any kids in there. I'd imagine we got a few too many undercover kids in there already. I don't want any more of them. If I figure out you're a kid, you're getting banned worse than, I don't know, Rolling Stones. I couldn't think. When I thought the word band, I thought BAND. But yeah, do all of these things. Exclamation links in the chat. I don't know. Now to do the second one. For the first one, I'll just carry around a banana at all times. Got you. You're becoming evil and freaky again. Here I come. Yeah, I hear evil and freaky now. Let's go. Based. Haven't been on Grindr in a while. It's getting too young for her. No, I will. I thought about Grindr because I have a totally real grinder link in my beacons. It's totally 100% real. I totally have an account on there. It won't just lead you to like a YouTube video or nothing. No, it's a completely real link in there. What do we have? Consciousness of God doesn't exist. An emergent property of a working brain is where neuroscience is tending to lean to with the evidence now. There's more evidence about it's evidenced by the fact that we can make physical, that's the word, changes. I mean changes too, but like we can physically mess with people's brains or alter people's brains in a way that causes their entire ability to consciously experience the world around them to vary or change in some way, right? So yeah, I don't know.
Hugh confessed to walking his mic for fun.
It's not
Sparkles
for
emoji.
no sparkles emoji, man. It's not for fun. There's nothing fun about it. All right, I have no fun doing this whatsoever. I'm not having the time of my life. This is not the one moment a day where I actually socialize with people and I try to be goofy for just to make people laugh. That's not what happens. Anyway, Jesse, how you doing today? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? How's your wife? How's your plife? Thank you for the $3.49 New Zealand. I sincerely appreciate it. It's like what, 3.49 New Zealand dollars? That's such a weird way to say it. I don't know. I'll say, yeah, $3 New Zealand, 49 cents New Zealand. I'll continue saying it the way I say it. I don't know, dude. I really got to learn like the with having like an international audience. I really got to learn more like currency names and abbreviations and stuff. I feel like we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, though. Still good at that. Like, how do you go philosophy so God, I exist so God, consciousness so God, when there's proven explanations for all of it. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, just trying to fit God where they can, like, put God where they can fit him, basically. The Bible is less entertaining than modern body horror stories. Of course, you would like body horror. I love body horror too. Tusk, Human Centipede was pretty awful though. Human Centipede could have been a great horror franchise if they stopped going for like, if they kept it more like the first movie, where it was like just like legitimate dread, legitimate just disgust, and kept it at that instead of just intentionally going just for more like complete vulgarity and disgust and shock value with like especially 3, then I don't know, I would have liked Human Centipede a lot more, but or the franchise, but as it stands, the first one was the best. What's up, Land of Hope? How you doing today? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? Me when Hugh forgets to ask how your knife is doing. I'm so sorry, Joshi. You know, how's your knife and your wife and your plife and your strife and your knife and all of those things and your quartife? How is it? But Papa Hugh, God bless you, and George W. Bush, if he exists. I'll make sure to give 2 kisses to my portrait just for you tonight. One for me, one for you. Why is Canada? I ask myself the same thing all the time. I don't know why Canada is just like, what are we doing up there? What are they doing? Are they having fun? I don't know. What age were you when you became an atheist? I was 19 years old when I left Christianity. I'm 29 years old now. You ever see Snowpiercer or The Platform? I haven't seen Snowpiercer. I know what happens in it though, and I've seen the first Platform. I didn't see the second one though. I heard the second one wasn't that good though. So, yeah, I saw the first Platform movie, and it was quite something. It was quite the experience. I do gotta eventually get to the second one. You're talking to somebody else. We need to annex Canada. No, I mean, let them do their thing, but I just want to know what their thing is. Speaking of Canada, I don't know if anybody, it's only 45 of you watching, so I'd imagine the audience isn't big enough for any of you to be esports fans, but anybody here watching VCT Masters Toronto? You know, they're doing their thing in Valorant right now. You know, they're playing professional Valorant. That's even a thing. I don't know. Why y'all picking on Canada? What do y'all do up there? You know, just like, I know you. I know that Canada in culture is very similar to U.S. in a lot of different ways, but there's just like a few random key differences. Like there were some random French. Why are people speaking French? Right? Why are they speak? Like why are they speaking French? Here's a fun fact about Canada versus France. Right? I play plenty of GeoGuessr in my free time, and in France, the stop signs say stop. They say STOP, they just say stop. Regular old stop signs in France. But these fucking cosplayers in Quebec, Canada, these French cosplaying sons of bitches, gotta make their stop signs say arrête. Like, come on, what the fuck are we doing? Like, hello? Fucking Francaboos, Francaboos. Like, what are we doing? How is this happening? The fuck is sports? It's not sports. It's esports. So it's like sports, but ready, set, sit down. That's how it goes. I suddenly developed crippling empathy after I gained consciousness and I can't handle gore anymore. Aww, shucks. I think part of what helps me deal with gore so good is that my literal first memory as a human being is Scream 2, the movie. I shit you not. That was the moment I gained like a conscious experience, as far as I can tell. I was in the bed with my sister and our mom and our dad or whatever, and I was a baby still, obviously, and then it was Scream 2 was on the TV, and I saw it and I was crying at it, and that's the very first thing I remember. I guess it was like so scary to me that it knocked me out of my unconscious, like non-thinking experience. So that doesn't really bode well for life after that too, good, right? Like your literal first experience is being terrified. Like who would have fucking guessed it would have ended up so fucked up? I'm wondering why I'm on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication right now, but my literal first experience is a horror movie. What the fuck are we doing? Wolverine's from Canada, and didn't they colonize Canada? Yeah, both the English and the French colonized it. They were playing like hot potato with it. But like, cost like, come on, man. If they don't even put the French word for stop on the stop signs in France, why are y'all using it? You watched Dawn of the Dead when I was 6 and thought it was real. Oh, jeez. I wanted to send you a piece of art. You know where to send it. You know where the Discord is, right? Have you ever done DMT? You'll be in a black void, absence from God, eternal hell. If you truly don't believe, you should be terrified. I've done DMT before, and I'm not going to call you a liar, but you've been misinformed. I'm going to go over as many of the drugs as I've done in my life. All you need to know about is psychedelics, because we're like, still kind of talking about that. But I've done LSD. I've done LSA, like the Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds. I've done psilocybin mushrooms. I've done psilocybin truffles. I've done DMT. I have done peyote. I have done salvia. I have done 2CB. I have done 2CE. As far as dissociatives go, I've done ketamine. I've done methoxetamine. I've done nitrous, and I've done I'm not too proud of it, but I've abused like dextromethorphan before. Like, it's an NMDA receptor antagonist, like ketamine at high doses. So please don't go abusing cough syrup, but I did it. Am I proud of it? No. Was the trip good? It was okay. It was fine. Really introspective. But what I'm getting at is that I've done a lot in the way of psychedelics. I have stretched and contracted my mind using substances over the course of a few years in multiple different ways. And I can tell you, I did not come to some sort of eternal hell that I didn't like. It didn't show me like, oh, I'm burning now. Oh, I did this drug and now I'm burning. And I guess that proves that God is real. It's like, no, that's not what happened. I knocked out for a bit, saw like some, these like fractal entities, some lower fractal entities. They were like trying to speak. The word sounded like, I'm not even going to try to replicate it, but it was a wild experience. But what I did not see was what's commonly believed to be heaven or hell. So all I'm going to say to that is no, that's not what happens when you do DMT, or at least not in my experience. If that happened to you, I'm sorry to hear that. That must be terrifying. You want to try DMT? It's an experience, man. It's a ride. It's a ride. Getting it though, it's gonna be tough. I think the very last drug I ever want to do is ayahuasca, which is just, oral DMT basically. You went to Canada once at 17, no idea, and they was acting like I was trying to sneak into America on my way back. I said, motherfucker, you think I'm trying to sneak back to the fucking hood? What? Yeah, there's a bridge from Canada to the U.S. in Detroit, and, I used to take my ex-girlfriend to this one Filipino restaurant that's right across the border, like literally a few blocks away from the border, and we drove back, and they were just like really, really odd about it. I don't know. Just like, motherfucker, here's my ID. Like, what were you doing in Canada? Motherfucker, you just saw me. I've only been gone for like an hour and a half. Like, hopefully the fucking container saying, I'm not going to say the name, but you can probably figure it out at that point. But saying, what's some Filipino food on the fucking bag would have gave away that I'm just out on a date. Yeah, they were, that's the way you went? Ooh, are we close? Are we close? I'm spontaneously combusting due to my atheism. The eldritch entities and slurping me up, and I can't deny them. Hell yeah! Wait, based? Wait, based? Wait, W? Slurped up by eldritch horrors beyond our comprehension? The entirety of reality collapses once Azathoth wakes up? Wait a second. Based? No, have a great night, Neil the Burrito. And again, thank you so much for the what was it, like $220 total? I sincerely appreciate it. I'm gonna spend that on hookers and blow and smack and Fent. I'm gonna do all types of Fent. Right? You just paid for my next Fent hit. I want you to know that. Thank you so much for that Fent. I'm gonna nod out just because of you. I'm completely kidding. But yeah, have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you. Speaking of Fent, fuck Fent, dude. Fuck no, as I should not. No, I should not do Fent. Nobody should do Fent. That shit is awful, man. Enjoy is crazy, dude. I'm not going to do Fent. All right, that was a joke. That was joking, everybody. Hee ha ha. Right? Remember it. Blow your shit smooth off and see how much of an illusion that is. Blow your shit smooth off is fucking crazy. I don't know what it is about people saying that it makes me laugh up. Makes me laugh or crack up, especially people like that aren't black. Blow your shit smooth off. I don't know. Anyway, I was saying yes to all the other drugs though. No, it's no Fent. I haven't done Fent. I will never do Fent. Yeah, there's a few things I will never try. Crack is one of them. Just for the culture at that point. I've done coke before, but like, yeah, crack just for the culture. Like I've had way too many crackheads on grass shit begging me for spare change and shit. It's like, you get me. It's like there's very clearly something going on with this drug that I don't want to figure it out. If it could take otherwise decent people from, regular productive members of society into losing literally everything and hanging out outside the Better Made factory on grass shit, then I should probably stay the fuck away from it, right? But yeah, not doing crack, not doing meth either. I'm not even huge on stems to begin with, but as far as stems go, I heard that's the creme de la creme. I don't want to find out. Fuck that. No opioids just in general, unless I get prescribed them, and I'll try to only not abuse them or whatever. But I've done lean, I've done oxy, and especially with oxy, that shit's just that would ruin my life. Even thinking about it's just, oh man. I'm not trying to talk up addictive substances here, but I'm making sure to communicate the word addictive it checks out. Did it once, realized, okay, yeah, this will destroy me, so fuck that. Anyway. Leaf be like, why do we live in a society with Arthur Fleck jokes? Arthur Fleck's Joker as his profile picture is fucking hilarious too. All I've ever done is bud and shrooms. I don't judge, but I've always just been cool with my bud or some shrooms once a few years. Uh, weed and shrooms and MDMA, those are my three favorite drugs. And I've done so much, and those are still like the creme de la creme. They obviously are pretty special. But no, I've done some things, man. A lot of it was just like me being bored in trade school. Well, not in trade school. Well, some of it on campus, but a lot of it off campus. In trade school back when I was out of state and just looking for shit to do, ordering shit off Alphabet, and just whenever I'm hearing about somebody got something new, just like, fucking might try it. No, I've never done meth, and I never will do meth. Are you proud? I'm not proud of doing all. I'm not proud of my drug use at all. I'm proud of the fact that I've never led to like any long lasting addictions. I was riding pretty close to the sun when it comes to addiction, but no, I'm not proud of the fact. I'm not proud or ashamed of it either. It's just something that happened. I don't know why I said that I haven't taken more than a Tylenol. Speaking of Tylenol, I probably should take some aspirin for my heart really quickly. 1 second. Do you think it's the drugs that made my heart so bad? No, my brother's got a bad heart too, and we don't have the same father, so very clearly, like, genetics is gonna play more into that than my minor drug use back when I was like years ago. All right, is this caffeine or is this aspirin? This is L37J. Yeah, that's aspirin. 1 second. Oh, we're good. This is live about drugs or atheism. When the viewers start to dwindle, yeah, conversations just kind of go off topic for a bit. That's okay. Ultimately, if I were like really, 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 really not balling, obviously, right? But like, if this was like financially sustainable and I could like do a lot more with long form content in the way of religion, then the streams themselves would be a lot less about religion and more so just about general yappage and gaming and stuff like that. But I will leave the long form, like, debates, interviews, things like that over to like long form videos. Be proud that you made it this far. Don't be ashamed. Fuck the judges. Yeah, fuck the judges, dude. Fuck the judge. I say the same thing in court too. Fuck the judge. Yeah, sure, I almost got shot in the fucking face, but yeah, fuck the judges. I think the lingering meaning is true form. Sukana's double dip. What about that? What in God's name are we talking about? What in Sam fuck are we talking about? Your cat had a bad heart? I'm sorry, dude. Sheesh. Yeah. I hate when cats get like any issues whatsoever. Like, oh no. Just a perfect being in pain. Like, oh no. Fuck that. My cat now, he seems to be all right. Just, he's just growing up. He's chilling. He's like me, independent. I'm not a super lovey-dovey person when it comes to animals. I basically just think of him like a roommate. Just like the cutest roommate ever. But no, he doesn't sleep in my bed or anything. It's just like, besides like when I'm cooking or something, here and there when I leave my door open. But yeah. Sakuna these nuts. All right, dude. You know what, Rip? That's enough. What's your last words, man? What's your last words? Let me get you on out of here. I'm about to skadoosh you really quickly. Do animals have souls and do they go to heaven or hell? I'd say no and no, but no and neither, I should say. But for Christians, that's a fantastic question. The dinosaurs go to hell because they never knew about the gospel. Yep, they're right down there with the cavemen and all the aborted babies. Don't waste your time with this fool. Just attention seeking. Something made us. That's God. Simple. This is Christian morality for you. This is a pretty good argument against objective morality from the Christian God. It's like, how can we claim that we all get our morality as individual humans from this one source, but this one source doesn't compel the people that believe in it to not just be condescending pricks, It's like, you get me? Like, I think that's a pretty intuitive case against us getting our morality from this God. You get sadder when animals die than we humans die, to be completely honest. For me, it's about equal. It's about equal, yeah. I think of them about as equals, you know? Just one of them can't speak to me in English. I can't explain other than just saying it's some emergent property, which is a cop out. Is it a cop out, or do you just not like the answer? Because I mean, if we just call any explanation cop outs, I'm just gonna say, no matter how you try to substantiate God, no matter what you say, it's just a cop out, right? Uh, you regret nothing? Fair enough. All right, go ahead, get you on out of here. Rip Van Winkle, gone, never, ever, ever coming back. Skadoosh. Take care. Have a good rest of your life. You will not be back. Banned, blocked, reported, modded on Facebook, the worst platform. I got to start streaming on Facebook again. I say again, I wasn't even eligible back when I was multi-streaming, but now that I am eligible, I got to stream on there. I feel like that'll be really, really funny. That's a non sequitur. Again, we're just using words unintentionally, right? A non sequitur is one conclusion drawn from a completely, no inference rule between a claim and a conclusion. Like, for instance, if I were to say that there's a blue light on my graphics card's light strip, therefore it's 5 p.m. in China right now, that would be a non sequitur because there's no logical inference link between these two. But if I give the most scientifically sound answer to consciousness, that as far as neuroscience is concerned, and you just call it a cop out, then the inference rule that you're putting on the table is that one can just call a cop out to what one considers to be the best possible explanation for something. And so no, it's definitionally not a non sequitur, and like, you let me know just with you calling it a non sequitur that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So sorry, apologies, but no. How does that work? Sounds like God being a swagger jacker from Evolution. What were you talking about? Also, what's up, Darren? How you doing today? How's your day? How's your night? Almost. Oh man, I almost said something that. Oh man, one of the great mysteries of the channel was almost solved for everybody, but fuck it. I forgot he was hella smart after the gagging on his mic episodes. I think knowledge is like a full circle, right? You know, the people that are truly stupid desire to do stupid shit, and the people that are like midway between try to separate themselves as far as possible from the stupidity, and the people that are even smarter than them circle right back to just doing the stupid shit because it feels good to do. Think you might have been getting too much. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Hey man, all good? How you doing? I'm doing. It's been an odd day. A lot better on this stream. You know, I've been given monies that I desperately need. You know, because I'm moving soon. I'm gonna have to. Some of these things I just can't take with me, so I got to buy some new things. So, you know, that was huge. But yeah, I'm doing. How about yourself, man? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? Literally does, though. Consciousness is a property of the brain, and we know this because it can be altered depending on what is done to the actual organ itself. Exactly. If consciousness wasn't at least partially dependent on the way that the brain physically works, then brain damage wouldn't change somebody's personality. It wouldn't change their ability to take in sense data. It wouldn't change so many different things. So, no. I'm not seeing why anybody's has to use their God to take credit for. That's another issue with a lot of God's arguments, is that when you really boil a lot of them down, there's just like a weird attempt to take credit for accountable parts of the human experience with one's preferred deity. This happens with like the transcendental argument. Oh, you accept a logical framework, therefore my God did it. Or the moral argument, especially. You don't want to kick babies right in their fucking teeth or something. Therefore, my God makes you not want to do that. It's just weird, man. oh, you have a conscious experience. My God did that too. It's so odd, and it's so disingenuous. I grant that maybe they just are convinced by the argument. Maybe they're just repeating it, so they're not trying to be dishonest about it. But the argument itself is just complete and total hogwash. What's up, the Accurator? How you doing today? Can you justify your worldview? Depends. In what way? Could be wrong, but as far as I know, we haven't found any instances of consciousness arising without some sort of brain-like nerve structure. No. I want to say there's like a mushroom where they said like awareness, but awareness and I don't know. Like it's weird. I haven't researched it enough to be completely honest with you. Speaking of things I haven't researched enough, there's this one like stupid Kent Hovind debate from like 12 years ago. Like it was uploaded 12 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was took place, but I gotta watch this shit and give a review on it. I know. I mean, I don't have to, but like the dude telling me to or like wanting me to, like he sent a decent amount of coinage. I would be remiss if I didn't completely at least tear it to shreds after having money put in my pocket. So I got to find some time to do that over the next few days. God was a gaslighter and is. So over the same three arguments, like your inability to understand science is not proof for God. Yeah. One that I really, really hate is the moral argument. Just because it has to be fair, like most other arguments, it has no legs to stand on. But even if it did, it's just the way that people use it is just so fucking. I don't know. It's so gotcha. It's so slimy. They use it in such a slimy way. I'm cool, like giving my contentions to it if they're not being slimy, but like I just don't like slimy people. That's why I stopped bringing guests up on TikTok. People are just way too fucking slimy, dude. Way too slimy. Oh, you think morality is subjective? Oh, so if I went out and I don't know, raped a kitten, then you can't say that that's objectively wrong. I'm just so sick of hearing these things, and they all of them are like they're not for the most part they're not over the age of 25, right? Just the same fucking young adults, fresh out of their teenage years, just the same fucking argument and structure. Where do you think morality comes from? Give the answer. So you can't say anything's objectively wrong and then give example of awful thing, and then and if I think it's right, you can't say I'm objectively wrong. And I'm just so sick of it. I'm just so fucking sick of it. People are just so fucking slimy. Do you consider yourself a moral person? I try to be. Like, even if morality was objective, why would I take it from a slavery defendant and rapist defendant society? Exactly. And one really, really, like, nail in the coffin for the moral argument is that there's such thing as secular moral realism. It's possible to define, like, moral truths based off of the appeal to empathy and logic that causes that empathy, right? Or causes causes the drive to work toward an empathetic end, I should say. You know, you can be completely, totally atheistic while also believing that there are moral truths. But, you know, it's just intuitively especially if you take your morality from the Bible, I can promise you it will not go well for you. Are they fishes or slippery lizards? I'd say closer to like eels. Slippery like eels. You know, just slippery, slimy, awful people. As they worship a genocidal slavery, you don't have morals. Exactly. But apparently all that stuff is out of context. Who would have fucking knew it? God's laws are objective. He said slavery was good. Well, it was a different. Yeah, exactly. And another thing that I really got to make a video about this. As part of the reason I'm going to redo my why I left Christianity video soon is partially because I want to put in my link tree, but also because I want to redo it in like a landscape orientation. But beside that point, a really, really big factor of why I left was how human people describe God to be. Right, it's like, oh, people are already enslaving each other, so he gave provisions on how to do it. So you're describing a human, because only humans who aren't all powerful are going to be beholden to societal expectations because they can't do anything about it. They can't rebel against it without, you know, having good reason to think that they're going to be in danger for doing so. So an all-powerful God shouldn't be in that same vein. So, but they do that in a lot of different ways. I'm going to expand on that in my when I redo my video. If God can't change and he was fine with slavery and rape in the Old Testament, then nothing has changed. Exactly. And you could even argue Jesus was too, because he says he is God, and he also says that he is the same yesterday, today, and forever as well. So, and also in Matthew chapter 6, he does go over the whole Sermon on the Mount, that he didn't come to do away with the old law. So it's like, you know, you could technically say Jesus condoned rape in Deuteronomy 22 as well, right? Believing a cloud riding goon makes you moral as weak. I agree 100%. I think it's a weak and outright dumb position. And I don't think any amount of intentional dishonesty or intentional misrepresentation of either subjective morality or secular moral realism is going to make that any more viable. You will not stand for the slander of eels. I'm sorry. I gotta slander eels, dude. Speaking of eels, I don't know if y'all know that it's just like, this might just be too brain rotty, but on TikTok there's this creator called Bosch, and he's a British dude, and he, you know, I don't know, like he shows like his eats for the day, like he gets from restaurants and shit, and like one of his most recent videos that went viral, he got like stewed eels. They got stewed eels, and like, what? Why are we eating stewed eels? Right? It's enough that we're eating eels to begin with. Why we gotta stew them, dude? What are we doing? Yeah. What the fuck are we doing? He can ban like every other thing. Exactly. Oh, murder, thou shall not. That's why, and you know, that's I could go on this all day. I mean, that's why I yap about it so often, right? But, like, I'm trying to be intentional with my words. I don't just sit here and say like, oh, God condoned adultery, God condoned, you know, bearing false witness against your neighbor. He condoned, you know, theft and things like that. I don't say these things because, at the very least, somebody can point to the Ten Commandments to show like why that's false. Okay, fair enough. I'm not just saying, oh, he condoned every literal bad thing ever. I'm not saying that. But they can't show the same fairness with him very clearly allowing some what's the word I'm looking for? Some exceptions to bad things like rape and slavery. Like, it's like, get me the fuck out. What's up, Linux Ver? Oh man, you've been up here for a while. How you doing, man? I'm sorry, I'm just sitting here yapping. Do you have a bingo board tonight? Yeah. A matter of fact, I gotta check it. I'm sure somebody said something to make me get bingo. Oh yeah, who created the universe? Bingo. Yeah, there we go. Easy bingo. Consciousness. Oh yeah, I did that too. That's not bingo, but yeah. Nobody brought up the Shroud of Turin from what I saw. That's kind of odd. Maybe they did earlier, but that's part of the issue with doing the bingo and looking at comments. I will not be able to do bingo when I start like multi-streaming. That's just like way too complex of a setup. But so I couldn't possibly look at like a bunch of different platforms with the chats or potential chats, while also paying attention to the bingo board. But yeah, I'd imagine I would imagine this whole board is filled up and I just don't know it. Taking little girls as war trophies, cool. Eating shrimp, oh hell no, exactly. Jesus cursed the whole fig tree. Yeah, he called a woman a dog like twice. Told people to hate their families to become his disciple. Like, if you really think about it, he was kind of a piece of work too. Hear you say Hawk too was brain rot enough, fair. And the meme is dead too. I really should get another meme, but honestly, I'm still stuck in 2011 with my humor. Rage comics and fucking 9gag. Anybody remember 9gag? Who in here remembers 9gag? Oh man, peak 9gag. You just had to be there for it. I don't know, dude. It was, you know, it was. I loved it. Oh yeah, Jesse beat me to it. Jesus, king of the zombies. Double tap. Skadoosh. 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 Yeah, just keep blasting that motherfucker. Oh, but you don't understand. He got up after 3 days. He's not a zombie. He's the son of God. Like, no. No, 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 no. Yeah, you might be too young for that. Yeah, you might be a little bit too young for that. That's like some early 2000s, not 2000s, early 2010s sort of shit right there. Jesus is the savior of all sinners, aka everyone, including me, who does the sin of not believing that to be the case. And if so, are you a universalist? If that's the case, I can at least deal with a universalist, right? Like, I don't even want to go to the biblical description of heaven, but I mean, if that's the best case scenario and it's actually true, then I mean, it'd be better to believe that everybody goes there regardless, rather than just like, oh, you have to believe in this random bullshit to go there. Like, I don't know. Give me a fucking break. Oh man, that reminds me, dude. I'm going on so many tangents. Tomorrow, I got my grocery deliveries coming tomorrow. I hate grocery shopping. The walking around's bad for my back. Um, I can't stand walking around, dude. That's so fat to say, but I got legitimate scoliosis, dude. My old jobs blew my back out, even worse than Daddy God did. But beside the point, tomorrow I'm making a sandwich. I'm making like a Scooby Doo level fucking Dagwood to the moon sandwich. I'm gonna get so high before it. It's gonna be fantastic. Might even stream early in the day. Fuck it, why not? Jesus needed a blood transfusion. Yeah, yeah, I don't even have something to say to that. Just well done. Googled it, and 349 New Zealand dollars, like 211 in US. Yeah, somewhere in there. I'm still obviously very super grateful. What always trips me out, and what really makes me in general, like, I don't know, kind of gives me a little bit of giddy up whenever I see it, is when I see a super chat come in a in a denomination that's not US dollars. Because I'm like, oh shit, my streams reaching worldwide. So far I've gotten Brazilian reals, reals, I don't know, Canadian dollars, New Zealand dollars, Australian dollars, Indonesian rupiah, Indian rupees, Malaysian ringgits, Vietnamese dong. So I'm like, wow, I'm actually, I'm just, I don't know, dude. It really puts things in perspective, dude. I don't know. I can't really communicate how grateful I am, even for being where I'm at now. Like, obviously, it's job not finished, but it's like, man, the fact that people could even stand me enough to be here at this point, it's just every time I think about it, I get a little flabbergasted and confused about it. I definitely feel that either Jesus slanders women, and whoever made the New Testament knew that wouldn't slide now and in the future, so they made them more forgiving. And a part, especially of the newer theologically motivated translations, absolutely. Like, you'll notice that a lot in the NIV as well, that they just really try to paint them out as like they try to mince some words. That's why I really recommend the NRSV for anybody. It was really an eye-opening translation when I read it after the fact, because very little in the way of theological bias. Is about as good as you're going to get. It's okay if you're an atheist, because if you're an atheist but a good person, you can still go to heaven. But if you mock God, there'll be a grave sin. He may make you go to hell. If the creator of literal entire reality cares about little old me making some jokes, then, I mean, I would call anybody else who cares that much about little old me making jokes, to the point that they think I even deserve such a fate, I'd call them a little crybaby bitch. So I'm going to do the morally consistent thing and say the exact same thing for God. If God cares that much about me having a little laugh, having a little joke, right, while he's the one that chooses not to show himself as existing to me, then he's a crybaby bitch. There's just no better way to say it. I'm so sorry. You'd think if all these Christians actually cared so much about Jesus, they use his proper name. All right. Jesus loves you. Okay. Good for him. Hope you enjoy all the 211s I've sent you. Oh, absolutely, I do. Yeah, I'm very grateful. Extremely grateful. Somebody could send a single rose on TikTok, and that's that's still money out their pocket at the end of the day. So how can you not be grateful for that, right? It at the absolute very least, it adds up. So I'm outlandishly grateful for it. Speaking of which, fuck TikTok. Just fuck them to hell. Can't stand them. Hawk Tua on TikTok. I'm so glad my computer stopped working enough for me to consistently run on both at the same time like I used to be able to. Yeah, TikTok was just brain rot. Fuck them. Tua. Yeshua died on a cross for questioning local government. These are facts. As for popularity contests, is literally how Yeshua came to be known as the Son of God. Do we think that the God in the Old Testament is different to the God in the New Testament? Ask a Gnostic and they'll say yes. Ask like somebody who's like not being heretical about it, they might say no. What they try to tend to say is that God's behavior in the Old Testament is, if they even go so far as to even try to acknowledge it as bad, then they go like they try to use the point of like, oh well, he didn't properly communicate his love to the world yet in the form of sending himself down as Jesus. And I think that's a giant crock of contrived horse shit too, but what are you gonna do? You've made jokes about maybe Satan is the real savior. At this point, probably, right? God ain't do shit for Satan all this time for mocking him. He ain't gonna do shit to me. Exactly, right? Matter of fact, Father, let me stop. I'm getting off here soon in a minute too. I got like 5 more minutes. I'm gonna hit the 2-hour mark because we. I mean, this was like a what's the word I'm looking for? A slower stream anyway. So we'll take what we get, but weren't able to hold over 100 for that long. Bonjour, j'aimez-vous, parlez-vous faux? I don't know what the fuck I just said. How you doing, j'aimez-vous? How's your day going? TikTok is an interesting place. Interestingly brain rotted, but I'll tell you this though, it's not as bad as Instagram. Talking to Christians on Instagram, it's like, I shit you not, I would say it's like talking to a wall, but at the very least, a wall is going to echo back. Right? A wall is going to echo what you say back a little bit, right? It's going to vibrate a little bit. You're going to hear a little vibration if you listen close enough. Instagram Christians are like complete and total voids of information. They're like speaking into a foam pad. There will be nothing coming out. It will diffuse and get not absorbed, and that will just be it for the information you convey. They are, I literally, I shit you not, I thought I was getting botted on one of my posts that like went a little bit, got a little bit of traction on there. I thought I was getting botted. I wish I was joking. I thought somebody was botting me because I just can't fucking believe it. Instagram Christians are by far the worst. I'm going on record as saying Instagram Christians are worse than TikTok Christians. They are worse than YouTube Christians. They are worse than Discord Christians. They are irreparable and insalvageable. They are a word that I'm trying to stop myself from saying because I'm trying to turn a new leaf. I'm trying to become a better person, both as a creator and as a person, but holy fuck, I want to use the word because it describes them to a T. That's all. That's it for my rant, though. Didn't think you were streaming tonight. I'm lucky just tuning in to catch you. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here. I gotta probably go live a little bit earlier tomorrow. What I really want to do is like, I really want to make this to like a morning stream sort of deal, right? Like maybe short morning religious yap and then like later in the day, like, you know, streaming just general yap sessions and gaming streams and stuff like that. Had to unfollow an old high school friend because she became the cringiest Instagram Christian ever. I'm so sorry to hear that. I found out one of my friends from of 12 years voted for Trump. I had to cut him off recently. Yeah, that's a whole different story though. Tool. Mine are the ones writing rape, racist, and violently misogynistic comments under every video. Yeah, with that goddamn cross emoji in their username. You know what really? Here's another reason I don't um, I feel like Christianity in the West is like kind of in the death throes a little bit because we're at the point of trying to make it trendy. And once you have to make it trendy for people to dedicate themselves to it or for it to be back on the rise again, then I think you failed. Right? Because, I mean, make anything a trend enough and give people justification for believing it, they will do anything. Tell people that voting for the rapist is the more masculine thing to do and that they're not real men if they don't vote for the rapist. They're going to vote for the rapist. And that's what happened. They voted for the rapist. Right? So tell little kids that, commenting, don't get mad, but Jesus loves you so much. He died for you. And under every TikTok video, tell them to do that. And that is the cool thing to do. And they're just going to do it. So, yeah, I think Christianity is really, I wouldn't say it's never going away. Let's start there. It's as long as we have access to information and access to each other, it's never, ever, ever going to go away. But it's the validity that people believe in it is, I think, it's starting to dwindle in the West a little bit. Discord Christians remind me of the Father John incident. What's the Father John incident? Just took a shower with the stream on. It was kind of romantic. Oh. So you're saying like there is a universe or in some way where my mouth and what came out of it reverberated against your ball sack. So in a way, I got to eat your ball sack. Hell yeah. Night Hugh, not night non-believers. You Jesus freaks will leave you with an image. Hammer and nails every day of the week. Good night, Jermaine. I'm getting off here soon in a minute, too. Let me get my last little yap in. Interestingly, though, if the world was actually an algorithm, she and I probably swap places. Who are we talking? Oh, wait. Serpent in the Garden is named as Gadriel. This was later retconned to paint Saint Lucifer as in league with great evil because the church disliked his paganistic ways. Well, fuck. You learn something new every day. I didn't know that was like a later Christian tradition. Shit. Well, damn. Well, shit. It most certainly did reverberate in this universe. Hell yeah, man. All right. Well, I think that's the last of my yap session. Taste test. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gotta lick it like a cat. That's enough. I gotta wash this foam, dude. I gotta stop putting my fucking microphone in my mouth. My fucking foam smells so fucking gross, dude. It's not like an unpleasant smell, but it's like the smell of something that you know has been in somebody's mouth. Not great. Not great. So I want to wash my foam quite literally now. I'm going to wash my foam and then I'm going to re-record my why I'm no longer a Christian video. I'm going to make use like a fireplace as the background this time around instead of just like stars. Also got to caption it too, because if you're not captioning your videos, what the fuck are you doing? You know, give it that AI look. Think about the people that can't hear what the fuck you're saying, so they can read the screen instead. Yeah, that's gonna do you better. So I'm gonna re-record that. I'm gonna get off of here though. Thank y'all, as always. I keep forgetting that when the stream dwindles down to just the regulars, I don't have to tell anybody to I don't have to do the whole self promo speech that I like doing. And I got so many fucking socials anyway. It's like it always pains me to do it because it takes so long. And plus, I feel kind of uncomfortable telling people to support the stream on. It's just like I don't want to make that like an obligation or something like that, right? So, but I guess I got to start learning to do so in the future, because if we're going to take this somewhere, it's going to require some financial justification and some metric justification. So I guess I got to start putting myself over soon. Have a good rest of your night. Appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to go wash my mic foam, and then I'm going to go record my video, and then I'm going to go beat my schlit. I'm gonna beat my penis. I'm gonna beat it. All right, it's gonna get beaten. beaten into oblivion. It's gonna be a fucking bloody mess by the time I'm done with it. I'm gonna fire up like I don't know, like Mia Malkova cream pie compilation or some shit. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of it. I'm gonna beat the absolute fucking. I'm gonna beat that shit like it owes me money. Do you understand me? But yeah, take care. See y'all later. Yeah. I probably didn't need to add that last.